The Latte Factor. Small expenses, big impact. Have you ever felt like your paycheck disappears the moment it hits your bank account? You work hard, you earn enough, and yet, at the end of the month, there's barely anything left. Why does it feel like money just evaporates? This is not just your story. It's the story of millions. And among them was a young man named Daniel. Daniel was 28, smart, driven, and full of dreams. He wanted to travel the world, invest in his future, and one day buy a home. But his bank account told a different story. Month after month, he felt stuck, living paycheck to paycheck. He wasn't reckless. He didn't buy luxury clothes. He didn't take expensive trips. Yet, somehow, he was always broke. One rainy Tuesday morning, as he rushed out for work, he stopped by his favorite coffee shop. A caramel latte, a muffin, and a smile from the barista, his daily ritual. That morning, he bumped into someone who would change his life forever. An older gentleman, well-dressed, calm, and kind. They struck up a casual conversation while waiting in line. The man glanced at Daniel's coffee and said gently, "That right there might be the reason you feel stuck." Daniel raised an eyebrow. "This coffee," he laughed. "It's just $5, the man smiled. "Yes, but $5 every day, every week, every month, it adds up. It's not the coffee. It's the habit." Daniel couldn't shake the conversation from his mind. He had heard of budgeting, of course. He had read articles on saving. But this was different. This wasn't about cutting out joy. It was about noticing the invisible. He began tracking his daily expenses: coffee, snacks, takeout lunches, streaming subscriptions he never used, spontaneous online buys. When he totaled it all, he was shocked. Over $600 a month. Gone. On things he couldn't even remember. "How did I not see this?" he whispered to himself. Because the truth is, it's not the big expenses that destroy our financial freedom, it's the small, silent ones. The Latte Factor, as some call it, isn't about lattes. It's about awareness. It's about understanding how tiny choices, made every single day, shape the future we live. Daniel decided to test a new path. He didn't go extreme. He didn't stop drinking coffee or deprive himself of joy. But he made small, mindful changes. Instead of buying a latte every day, he made coffee at home 4 days a week. He packed lunch 3 times a week instead of ordering in. He canceled 2 unused subscriptions. And he set up an automatic transfer of $200 into a savings account each month. At first, it didn't feel like much. But after 3 months, he had saved over $600. And for the first time, he felt in control. Not because he had more money, but because he had reclaimed his awareness. As weeks turned into months, Daniel noticed something unexpected. This wasn't just about saving money anymore. It was about mindset. Each small decision, to skip a coffee, to cook at home, to walk instead of Uber, gave him a win. And each win boosted his confidence. He began thinking differently. He no longer felt like a victim of his circumstances. He was becoming the architect of his future. One evening, Daniel sat down and calculated what would happen if he kept saving $200 a month. In 1 year, that's $2,400. In 5 years, over $12,000. And if he invested it, with a modest return, it could grow to $15,000, even $20,000 or more. All from a few small daily choices. That realization hit him hard. He looked at his cup of coffee and whispered, "You almost stole my future," but the truth was, it wasn't the coffee. It was the unawareness. Daniel's transformation didn't stop with his wallet. He started applying the same mindset to his time. He asked himself, what are the small things I do every day that cost me more than I realize? Time on social media, scrolling aimlessly. Negative thoughts he entertained. Conversations that drained him. Habits that felt harmless, but were stealing his energy. So he began shifting those too. He replaced 15 minutes of social media with reading. He journaled in the morning. He started listening to podcasts about personal growth. And suddenly, his days felt richer. Not because he had more, but because he was more present. More intentional. So why are you hearing this story? Because maybe you're Daniel too. Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you're wondering why your dreams feel so far away. But what if the path forward doesn't require a promotion, a lottery ticket, or a miracle? What if it starts with a single choice today? Not a giant leap, but a shift in awareness. A small step, taken today, and again tomorrow. You don't have to cut out joy. You just have to cut out unconsciousness. That's the real latte factor. Not the coffee, but the small daily decisions we make without thinking. The ones that quietly steal our money, our time, and our future. A year later, Daniel looked at his bank account and smiled. He had saved over $2,500, not because he made more money, but because he made more choices. He had also invested some of that money, watched it grow, and began planning a small solo trip, something he had always dreamed of. But more than that, he felt powerful. Because for the first time, he understood that wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep, and how wisely you use it. He realized that financial freedom isn't a distant dream. It's a set of daily actions, small, consistent, deliberate. It's not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about building a mindset that refuses to waste potential. So now, I want to ask you, what's your latte factor? Is it a coffee? A quick meal you could replace? A subscription you forgot about? Or even a mindset you haven't challenged yet? Because here's the truth, the small things you do, or don't do, every day, shape the life you live. If you want a better future, you don't need to start big. You need to start small. But start aware. And when you do, you'll look back, just like Daniel did, and realize that you didn't just save money. You rewrote your life. If this story moved something inside you, don't let it fade away. Pause and reflect. What tiny change can you make today that your future self will thank you for? Because greatness isn't built in giant steps. It's built in small, smart choices, repeated daily. This was the Latte Factor, small expenses, big impact. If you found value in this story, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that help you learn, aspire, master, reflect, and evolve.